Hello, am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Fine, so I guess I will just start and if anyone else comes, I will let them in. Okay, I will share the screen. Okay, so good evening, everyone. Welcome to this week two of the interactive session. So, as last time, we will first look at the mock assignment for week two. We will solve those examples and then we will solve some of the problems related to functions and loops only. Right? If anyone has any doubt in the previous sessions, questions or code, then they can ask that. Otherwise, I will just start the mock assignment. So this is the assignment on grade one. And so we will start with the first question. Create a function that computes the two values, and we will run this function for different values of x. Just for a randomly generated values, and then calculate the values using, please report the values of odd sum using x1. Fine. So first we will just write the function. Function we will output result. We just need to take input as the vector. Now, okay, we need to compute two values. Fine. So I think I'll just create two outputs, odd sum and function val. We rename this as val function. So we first need to calculate all the sum of all the odd values, like odd indexes. So I will go run it through a loop, or else I can do, let me just first let me just calculate the length of the x vector. Got the length. Next I will take odd sum So I need all the odd indexes. Create odd two. So this will just generate a vector from 1, 3, 5 like this up to length L, and then for odd sum I will just take sum, and I will take x values, all the values of x that are on the odd positions. So that should give me odd sum. Next is function val. So I need to take the index and I need to multiply it by the x value at that index. Uh, uh, so I can do a dot product also, that way I can get this. So if I create a vector, I just create a vector uh, from 1 to length, from 1 to length, and I will just take a dot product. So if x is a column vector and this vec is a row vector, like I right now this len, if I make len as 2 or 3, then this vec would be a column vector, right? So it's a 1 cross 3 vector, and if I input x as a row vector only, then I need to take the transpose of x, because it should be like 1 cross 3 multiplied by 3 cross 1. That should give me the sum of this, right? So I'm assuming that my x is a row vector. So I will write here vec multiplied by uh, x transpose. So that should give me output function val. So yeah, so this is func val and this is fun val. That is why it's giving me a warning that I'm not using fun val and this is not being output here. So I will just change this to fun val. I will save this. Now I can call this function. So let me create x1, 1, 3, 2, minus 1, minus 1, minus 4, 7, 6. We'll calculate two values of some func val, val fun. So, so all the odd indices. So 1 plus 2, 3, minus 4, that is minus 1, plus 6, 5. So this is 5. And if I multiply with the indexes, so I will get 73. So the answer to the first part would be 5. This would be 73. Fine. So here we have like this is a random number generator. So this everyone knows. What this is doing is I type help RNG. So it will help me set a start the this x2, this random number generator using a seed value, right? So RNG basically gives me a setting, sort of what sort of setting do I want for this. So if I use rand 1 comma 10, uh, let me just use 1 comma 5. So I will get 5 random numbers. If I run this again, I will get different 5 random numbers. But if I make RNG as 2, then I run rand 1 comma 5, I will get some random numbers. If I run the same code again, I will get same random numbers. So because this basically gives me a seed value of what random number, what seed value do I want to use for creating these random numbers. So that is why it's given, like for this part they want us to use a seed value of 2023. This makes sure, this helps us making sure that everyone is using the same x2 vector for calculating these two values. Fine. So I will use the same, uh, I will use the same range value, and then I will create these random numbers. So this is a 1 cross 10 vector. So these are my 10 random numbers. Now I will run the same my function on x2. So this is what I should be getting for odd sum. We'll enter that value 1.5979, and fun val should be 24.0291. Fine. So is this clear, or anyone has any doubt in this part, the first question? Fine, then I will go to the second part. So let us plot the monthly rainfall trends in Chennai. Let m is equal to 1 to 12 represent the month of an year. Average monthly rainfall is stored in this vector. Shown below is the shown below with the MATLAB codes that can be used to generate them. The plots are marked A to D. Please note that there are 6 options of MATLAB codes to choose from. So we need to select uh, which code gives us which plot. Fine. So match the command below that gives plot A. Okay, so let me first just create these two integers, these two numbers. So my n is 1 to 12, and my average rain I will just copy. Okay. So now plot A. So this is plot A. And comma. So this uses the default options of MATLAB to plot this. The system is running very slowly today. Yeah. So this is the default graph that we get using default options of MATLAB. Now, what this plot is showing is that we want to change the color of this line to black, and we want all these points to be dotted, like marked with using round, using circles, like marks, dotted marks. Uh, so what we can do is plot m comma range, and now we want the colors to be black, so I will just enter K, or else I need to enter all the options together. So we need the color to be black, so that the code for that is K. Next we want the points to be dotted. Fine. So this just generate the dotted curves with black dots, right? I need to connect it using a line. So I will just input another command. Now this generates a line and marks all the point using black dots. Okay. So the correct option for this is I think this one, fourth one. Fine. Next, let us go to the next one, plot B. So this is similar to what we did over here, but here the line is red, and instead of normal dots, we are getting these diamonds. Right? So we run the same command. I will just change this last part. So instead of black, I should be using R for red, and for diamond, I think it's D. I suppose it's D. Yes, fine. So you can also check these, like what sort of options do we have using the help menu. Uh, help lot. Then it will show me a documentation of for plot. So for point we have dot, for circle we have this X mark, this plus this. So like this we can give. For square we have S, for diamond we have D. These are the colors, default colors, and these are the line patterns that we can use. So dash for solid, dotted we have to use colon, dash dot. Uh, you can get the idea. Right? Fine. So the correct option for this is, so we used this one, right? Dash R. So maybe this one, it's just we are using black and square. Yeah. So first one, I run the command. Right? Next we want star. Let me just see what is that. Star. Yeah. So for star, we have this multiplication sign. Okay. The color is blue. So for blue, I will write B, and for star, I will make this bigger. Fine. So this matches with the D part. So this is B star. Fine. Now plotting question. Plotting question. Yeah. So consider the same rainfall data as in previous problem. The following plot is generated. Which of the following MATLAB code can be used for generating the above figure? No partial marks will be given in both the questions below, only if none of the wrong answers are checked. Um, okay, so we want black line, we want circles, and we want the circle color to be magenta. Fine. Just go for circle. Oh, so I need to enter. Oh, sorry, I entered blue. It should be black. Fine. So now we just need to change the marker color to magenta. So if I see over here, so there is some example. So marker face color green. This changes the face color of the marker, like, on by which color the marker is filled. And the another option is marker edge color. So this changes the color of the boundary of the marker. Fine. So we need to change this option. So I will keep this as same, and I will enter another option, marker edge color. I will use M for magenta over here. Okay. So this generates the graph, required graph. So the correct option should be KO marker edge color n. Fine. So the last one. Choose all the commands that will result in an error. So this is the correct command. Okay, let us check if any other command is also correct. This is wrong. This is wrong. This should give me an error. Enter this. Similarly, this is also wrong. This is also wrong. Like we are using, this is like a plot xy comma plot xy kind of thing. So we are plotting two different data points on same plot. So this is also wrong. If I done this, okay, so this is right. Uh, yeah, this is right. Yeah, okay. So this is right because in the first part we are plotting month and average rain using a black and using a line with the black color, and in the second part we are plotting only using markers. So if I run this part only, so I'm only getting these markers. So we are using plot xy comma plot xy. So we are in superimposing both the graphs on the same plot. So the first line plots a black line with the black line, solid black line, and second part magenta markers. Right? So this is correct. Let's check this. This changes the color of the line to magenta. So this is wrong. Right? So we have two correct options and four wrong options. This is fine. This is clear to everyone. Fine. Uh, Consider the following function is stored in a v2 form dot n. Okay, let us create this function. Please compute the results using the above function for the two questions given below. The following code is typed at the command prompt. Let us save this. This x is equal to 2, r1 is equal to 1. So what this is basically doing is we are taking as input a value x and a value y. And this is taking the square of the x, the value stored in x, and an exponent of the value stored in y, and adding those two. Okay, so just run the function. So this is the value of r1. Now okay. So this time we are putting y first and x later, but this will not have any effect on the function because whatever value I enter over here inside the function, it will be considered as x only. Even if I am writing y over here, but when once the function call is happening, so the first variable whatever I am inputting, it will consider it as x only. So I should be the value of x should be 2 over here, and for y inside the function the value of x should be 2 only. That is the value of y over here, and the value of y should be 0.5. The value of x over here. Okay. So 2. So I'm getting 5.6487. If I let me just take this over 5.64. This is fine. So if I initially I took x is equal to 2, y is equal to 3, right? And I got 24.05. If I take x is equal to 3, y is equal to 2, and I run the same function, but I replace x with y and y with x. So since y is equal to 2 and here x was equal to 2, but so I should get the same result that I got over here. So I'm getting the same result because inside the function it does not matter in which it does not matter what is the function, what is the variable name over here. Once I enter the function's scope, whatever the variable name is over here, that is how the function will consider it in the calculations inside the function. Fine. So now the last question, using structuring functions. Hmm. So let us create this function. Step 2, the above function file will be called from MATLAB. Please answer the questions below. Fine. Let us save this. What is the result on running the following code? Please report the value of h1. And so we are creating a structure first. Structure named param. Dot a is equal to 2.5 dot p is equal to, this is a vector, minus 1, 0.2, and another one c is equal to 1, 0. Now we are calling this. So C is a constant, param is a structure. So once we enter the function call, uh, the first uh, the first value inside this param is stored in a variable. The b value is stored. The second value is stored in b variable, and third value is stored in c variable. And we are calculating this x as a we divide the c value by 0.0 to get x, and then we just multiply all these together to get the answer, right? Sorry, so I entered a wrong variable name over here, so it should be param capital N. Fine. So this is what I'm getting. 6.1780. Fine. Next, what is the result of running the following code? So if we want to check that what is happening inside the function. So we will just apply some breakpoint over here. Now if we run the function, so this stops the computation at this breakpoint. Fine. So you can see over here, our C is a C value is 1. C value is 1.7 and par is a structure. So we have three fields inside par A, B, C. C is a vector and A and C are scalars. So I go to the next line. So now inside this function, a variable A is created with the value 2.5. So we have param dot A 2.5. Next, we get V value, that is a vector. C value, that is another scalar. Right? Next, we compute X. Just divide C by 0.08 to get X. And now we are adding A and the first value of this vector B, and we multiplied C, then second value of this vector B multiplied by C square, and then C divided by X. Right? Now I exit the function and I get the result. So as soon as I exit the function, the variables A, B, C, and X, those variables are deleted from the workspace, because those variables are only local to the function workspace. They are not global to the MATLAB workspace. Okay. So we need to make sure that the even though we are inputting the structure as an input, inside the structure, whatever we are accessing, that is defined inside this structure. Otherwise, it will give us an error. So inside the structure, we have three fields A, B, C. Right. So if I change this to something like capital C, and now if I run the function, it will give me an error because the this capital C field is not defined inside that structure. We only have a field named small c. Okay? So we need to make sure that all the fields that we are accessing inside the function are also present in the structure that we are inputting to the function. Okay? So now we are just changing the value of this ABC. Okay? So now you see what is happening, that even though inside B we have three vectors, like three numbers, so it's a 3 cross 1 vector, but the function is not giving us any error because we are not accessing, we are only accessing the first two fields of that vector. We are not accessing any field after three, like we are not accessing the fourth field or the fifth field inside the vector. That is not present in the vector. So even though we are inputting a 3 cross 1 vector instead of a 2 cross 1 vector, the function is still runs fine. We are not getting any error. Okay? So the answer to this one is 4.633. We are rounding off. Okay? So this, anyone has any doubt in this?
Yes, sir. Excuse me, sir. Good evening.
Yes. Yeah, good evening.
Sir, in MATLAB, the first line
Yeah.
function, uh,
Hmm.
the parameter that is input parameter C and PAR. So this,
Yes.
as we are dealing with structures,
Hmm.
even if I change PAR to some other letter also, I don't think there will be any problem. Am I right?
No, yeah. So I can change it to PA, but make sure that you change it everywhere inside the function, wherever we are accessing this variable PA.
Oh,
So
but
if I only change it over here and inside this, this is PA only, right? So then it will give me an error because the PA is not defined. The function does not know what PA is,
okay.
right?
But need not we need not change in the main program while calling the function in the main.
No, no. So in the main program, you can call it any way you want.
Okay.
So if right now I'm using PA. Now if I create this, yeah, right. So this variable name is different than PA, right?
Okay.
This is param n, this is PA. So once I call the function, yeah, I will just apply a breakpoint over here to explain this better. Sorry, I need to define C also. And so now if so we input we for this function we inputted C and param n. Okay, let me change this also. It will be much clearer. Let me change. Sorry. Let me change C to X. Okay. Now instead of C, I am inputting X. Right. So now I will run this. So now you see inside C, I have 1.7. So that is the value of X. So the name that is I'm using over here does not need not be same what I'm using over here, but the name that I'm using over here should be same what with the name that I'm using inside the functions. Whatever the first parameter over here is, it will be assigned to C, and whatever the second parameter here, it will be assigned to PA. Fine?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So one last thing. Just now
Yeah.
you're applying that line by line evaluation, no? Just can you just
Yes.
once again show how you, to do that
Okay.
line by
Yeah.
line?
Yeah. Fine. So if I go to any function, like if I go to this function, so I will in this function editor window, I just need to apply a breakpoint over here. So if I go to any line, you see my cursor changes to this pointy finger sort of thing. So I will just click over here. This creates a breakpoint. So my execution will pause at this line of the code. So if I run this, I need to check this. Yeah, this x1. Now if I call this function, so, yeah, so now the execution stops over here. Now there are options over here in the editor window only. So continue, step in, step out. So what continue does is uh, this continues the execution until I get another breakpoint. So if I let me just make two breakpoints. Fine. So I have one breakpoint over here. I have one breakpoint over here, and I have another breakpoint over here. We run the function again. So if I do step, then it will take me to the next line of the code. So it takes me over here. Takes me over here. Now if I click on step in, so like even though I'm using an inbuilt function, sum, if I click on step in, it will take me inside this function. So if I click step in, for some reason, yes, this is an inbuilt function. That is why it did not take me inside that function. But if you have some function which is like which you have defined, then step in will take you inside that function. Now step, I will again go to the next line and end. So this now exit the function. Right? I will run the same code again. It stops at line 2. Now if I click continue, then it will stop at this line 7 because that's the next breakpoint. Right? So it stops at line 7. Now if I click continue again, so there is no loop inside this function. It will just exit the function. Give me the answer. Right? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Create some other function over here like need to check, let us just create some function. What we are using x and odd, right? So I will just take two inputs. I will sum x is in this function. Over here, I will say this function my fun2, and here I need to input x and I need to input odd. Those are my indexes, right? Now, if I do this, it stops over here. Click next, next, next. Now I get an option over here to step into the function. Now if I click step in, this will take me inside this function. Now I don't see any option to get a step in further because this is an inbuilt function, simple function, so there is no option. For complicated functions, you get an option to go into those functions also, but sum is a simple function, so that is why they're not getting that option. So now if I click step, this will exit this function, take me to the next line of the code, exit the code, right? So I think this is clear now. And so anyone has any doubt in this non-graded assignment? Okay, fine. So we'll just look at some sample problems. I think I have 4 problems. Let's see how many we can calculate. Fine. Okay, so the first problem, expand intervals. So you are given a row vector of an even number of monotonically increasing integers. Each pair of consecutive integers is a lower and upper bound included of an integer interval. Return a row vector that consists of all the integers ordered within these intervals. So what you need to do is, suppose if I input a vector 1, 4, 7. I need to give a monotonically increasing integer. So your function should output 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? So these two, 1 and 4, are the upper bound, lower and upper bounds. You need to fill in the digits between these two numbers. 4 and 7 are lower and upper bounds. You need to fill in the digits between these two numbers, and you should give an output. Right? So let us try to do this. I will just create a function. Result expanded. Okay. So I should take as input. So I should take in as input. Either way, like if I take the this entire, if I take the entire vector as an input, then I can run a for loop inside this. For I in 1 to length of x, my upper bound would be uh, whatever xi plus 1 is. Okay, so the loop, like for this, the loop will run 2 number of times, and length of x would be 3. So I need to run loop uh, one less than the number of integers in the uh, vector. So xi plus 1, my lower bound should be xi. Okay. So For the first iteration of the loop, x lower bound would be 1. For the second iteration of the loop, it would for the first iteration, lower bound would be 1, upper bound would be 4. For the next iteration, lower bound would be 4, upper bound would be 7. So now I need to fill this. So let us just create an empty result vector. Upper bound, lower bound. I need to fill in the integers between these two numbers. So I'll just add them to result. Right? Comma, lower bound, increments of 1. What this line will do, it will just create a vector of with lower bound to upper bound in increments of 1, and it will just add that vector to the result. It will concatenate that vector to the result in a row manner, like add row after row. It's not adding like concatenating below column after column. It's just row after row. Mm, fine. Yeah, so this should work. Right. Mm, save this. Let me create a variable 147. Let's run expanded. Fine. So I'm getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this 4 is getting repeated because we are using the same increment lower bound x and lower bound xi plus 1. So for the first loop, we are already getting x, we are already getting 4, but for the second loop also we are starting from 4, right? So what do we need to do is this upper bound, we will just do a -1 over here. So that this will make sure that we are not going till the upper bound. We are excluding the upper bound. Okay, but this will also have another problem, because if we make this -1, then what will happen is that for the other part of the loop, we will be for the second iteration of the loop, we will be excluding 7. So if I run this again, yeah, so now we are excluding 7, right? Because we are doing a -1 over here. So what we need to do is take uh, excluding lower bound, we are starting from 1, increments of 1, and we are going till 4. Then we should start lower bound plus 1. So now it will start. Now, but this will just create a problem with with this part, one part, right? So if we create this result with the first integer of x, this will initiate this result with 1, and then we can go this from lower bound -1, sorry, lower bound plus 1, in increments of 1 to upper bound, right? So now I'm getting the correct answer, right? So any doubt in this? What we did, why we did? Fine. Let us now go to the Okay, so let us run for some other examples. I should get all the integers from 3 to 20. If I run a different thing, so if I make this 13, this 5, then this 20. Now what will happen is, because I have given an increment of 1 over here, so this 13 to 5, it will this line of code will give you an error, because we cannot go from 13 to 5 in increments of 1. We need to have increments of -1, right? 13. See, this gives us 13, 6. So we are not getting 5 over here. It is not going till 5. It goes from, again, we missed this one. So yeah, so 3 to 13 we are getting, but then from 13 to 5, that we are not getting. It just goes directly from 5 to 20, right? Remove this part. Yeah, so I'm getting the same thing. Found this one. Let us apply a breakpoint over here, and if we run the code, so our upper bound is 13, our lower bound is 3. Uh, so result is 11 plus 1, 3, 4, 5, 13. Now let us go to the next iteration. Upper bound is 5, lower bound is 13. That should go to 14 and 14 to 5. Does not add any new integer, because we have not added a -1 over here. So that is why it asks us to do monotonically increasing, right? The later part it transform. So we just need to check here if lower bound is greater than upper bound. If upper bound is less than lower bound, then we need to have a -1 over here, right? So then this would be increments of -1, right? Else this result is fine. So this will sorry. This gives me an error upper plus bound. So I instead of underscore I entered a plus over there. performed. This should also otherwise create. So for the first part, lower bound is fine. So now I am running it till 13, and then I am going again from 13 to 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 6, 7, 5, and then again from 5 to 20. So what we intended. So now, if we use this if condition inside the loop, then the numbers need not to be monotonically increasing. We can use any sort of array, any sort of vector, either increasing or decreasing. It should give us the result. Right? Any doubts in this? This should also work for negative integers. If I enter -5 over here, then it should work for that also. So we are starting from 3, we are going till 13, and then after 13, we are again going till -5, and then from -5 we are again increasing and going till 20. Right? Okay. Any doubt in this question? Then I will go to the next. Yeah. So matrix quadrants. Sort the array so that they are sorted as if their value was a 5-digit number made from the first three and last two digits of the value, irrespective of the middle digits. So if you look at this example, suppose we have this array. So we need to first make an array out of this array that such that we have the first three digits and last two digits of the number. So 166 and 52. So we get this 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5. So we get this 8, 8, 2, and 3, 4. So this is already a 5-digit number. We get the entire 5-digit number. We get 7, 4, 1, and 4, 5. So this 5 digits. And then we need to sort this array in the ascending order, and then based on the values that based on the indexes that we get from this sorted array, we need to sort the above array in that order. Fine. So since like in this, suppose this is the smallest number, then this, and then this. So the smallest number in the returned the sorted array should have this as the its first output, because this is the shortest smallest integer, and then this one, like the first one, should be the second, and likewise, right? Okay. Now let us try to code this part then. So for this we need to use a function that is called uh, int to st. I think it's num to str. So if I enter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it should give me a character array with the same numbers, right? So now from right? So if I can just take the first two or first three integers from this, so I should get 1, 2, 3. I can get the last two also. So I can just take n minus 2 to n, get the last three, n minus 2, should be n minus 1 to get the last two, n and n minus 1, right? So something similar to this we need to do over here, and then we need to sort the final array. So I can again use um, str to num answer to get a number out of this string. So right now 45 is a character string, character array. Uh, I get a number from using that using this str to num function. So let us first let us write a general purpose code only. Uh, Structured number, uh, struct number, and let us take as input the number and what indexes do we need, what indexes we need to strip, right? So we need to strip uh, index 1, that is the first the beginning digits that we want, and index 2, right? For the extracted number we just need to uh, what should I name this variable? Num init should be, let us first just take the num char. So str to num to str, num to str. We just take this number and convert it to a string. Then we need from this character array up to index 1. Then the later part num n, from this character array we will take just take from index 2 to n, right? So if I my if my index is 3 and 2, so this should give me the numbers from first three digits, and this should give me the last two digits, right? Now I need to just concatenate these two to get my new number. So there is, I think, another we can just concatenate number character array, and just add these two together using normal concatenation. Num init, num end, fine. Now our extracted number will be just str to num, str to double for faster performance. Fine. So any doubt in this? I think this should be clear. So now we just need to run a loop. Just create a script. We'll take as input my array. Okay, let me just copy this. Let us calculate the length. We need to run a loop for this many number of times. For every iteration of the loop, we will check, we will send one number from this x vector to extract number function, and then we will get the extracted five or whatever digits we want. So we will let us create that also. So index one should be, we need first three digits. Index two should be two, last two digits, right? For every iteration of the loop, we will extract, and let us store also, like create a variable to store that numbers also. Extracted numbers empty array. We need not to make this an empty array. We already know the size of this extracted array also, because it should be same, the size should be same as x. So we can just pre-allocate this array for faster performance. Uh, Usually, if we change the size of this array inside the loop, then the code runs a little bit slow, because at every iteration it needs to allocate, the size changes. So it needs to allocate memory for the new size or the extended size. This way, it already pre-allocates the size, like this many uh, memory in the this many size, this size of the memory pre-allocates the size of the this variable inside the memory, so the code runs a little bit faster, right? So we will just extract the number, uh, extract number, uh, function name is extract. Sorry, I'm using the same variable. This number only. So extracted number, need to input. If I'm inside the this script area, or script editor or function editor, then if I type any function, so it shows me a description of the function, like what all parameters I need to pass to the function. I don't get this option if I write it over here. So here I don't get these suggestions, like what variables I need to pass. This only happens if I'm inside the editor window. Okay. So it asks us to pass three variables. So our number should be whatever, should be like xi, then index one, that is only three, and index two. This will extract the first five, like the first three and last two digits. We will store it in an array, in this extracted numbers array. Yes. So I will get a, I run this. Fine. Yeah. Okay. So let's try this. Mm, 9 times. So this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm getting up to this, right? Showing me numbers in scientific notation. That's why I'm getting that 10 to the power 9 over here. Yeah, but you get the idea. I'm getting this vector only as output. Right? So 1665. This is large. This is fine. 8828 These are the first 9 digits. These two are very large. Why is that happening? 74141 7414123. Let us save this and we will use the breakpoint method to see what the error is. So this is my character array. I get the first three digits. I get the first three digits. I take another step. I get the, so it takes from index 2 to index. So it takes, it should be n minus index 2 minus 1. This one, right? So if we run this again, right? So this time I'm getting 5 2, and this extracted number is 16652, what we should get over here, right? Let us just run this again. You see, yeah. So this time we are getting what we desire. What we desire. 16652 12345 88234 74145. Fine. Now we just need to sort this array. So if I type help sort over here, uh, yeah, this one. So this one is like sort A, B, I. So I have two outputs over here, B and I. So B is the sorted array. I is the index of the after the sort index of the sorted array based compared to the original array, right? So mm, I make a random array 1 4 2 6 2 5, and if I run that command, so B gives me the sorted array 2 3 3 5 6 14, and these are the indexes of these numbers in the original array. So number 2 first appears at the second position, then number 2 appears at the fourth position, then number 3 it appears at the sixth position. So likewise I get the indexes of the original numbers in the sorted array, right? So we will use the same function over here, b comma I. Uh, we need to sort the extracted array, right? Indexes. Now if I run this part, Then my original array. So this is my original array. Uh, this is my extracted array. This is my sorted array, and indexes of my sorted array are like this, right? So this goes to the second position, this comes to the first position, this goes to the fourth position, and this comes to the third position, right? So in the original array, these were my indexes. So now what I need to do is I need to sort my original array in this order, right? So I can simply write uh, my sorted array is I will just enter my original array and I will enter these indexes. So what this line will do is basically sort this X like original array based on these indexes, right? Okay. So this is what we should get. Okay. Uh, is this clear to everyone what we did, or any doubt? Fine then. Let us come to this question. Okay, this we will do at last. So this requires random number generation and some other calculations. Uh, right now, let us do this one only right now. Let me first explain the question. So close the sharing from here and share my screen from here. Fine. We saw similar question in the, I think in week one lectures where we were required to calculate the area of a circle, or we needed to calculate the value of pi, estimate the value of pi. So there also we just randomly generated some numbers. We calculated the area of, we calculated like how many numbers are inside that inside a circle of unit radius one, and then based on that we calculated the value of pi. So we will use a similar concept here also. What we need to do is, so we have these three lines. Go over here. Okay. So y is equal to 2x. That would be like this. Then we have y is equal to x minus x plus 4. So y is equal to x0, x0 by 4 minus something like this. And then y is equal to 0. That is the x-axis. This one. This is visible to everyone. This is visible, right? Yeah. So we need to calculate this area. So what we need to do for this is, first we need to calculate these three intersecting points. Once we get these intersecting points, then we can directly use the scalar formula for area calculation. That will directly give us the area calculation. Or the other way is like for a triangle, that formula works. I think it's s minus s1, s minus s2, s minus s3, and then square root of that, something like that. So that works for a triangle. But if we have some random area, like some random curve, suppose we need to calculate area of this curve, or area enclosed by some random shapes like a straight line and a parabola. So that then we need to do integration, right? Or so that is what we will be doing today also. Or the other method is Monte Carlo methods, where we randomly generate a large number of points inside this area, and then we calculate how many points are inside the area and how many points are outside the area, and then based on that we get the area enclosed by the curve, right? So what we can do over here is we can get this boundary, right? So suppose this is y is equal to 2x, this is y is equal to minus x plus 4. This is 0 comma 0. This is 4 comma 0. We need to get this intersection point. So we can simply use the MATLAB. I will go to MATLAB and tell you this. And then suppose this is x comma y. So we can generate some random numbers uh, between 0 to y and some random numbers between 0 to x, right? And then we can calculate how many of these random numbers, random points that we generated in this entire area, how many of these numbers are inside this shaded region, and how many of those points are outside this shaded region. And then we get and then we calculate the area of the enclosed curve divided by the area of the entire curve, entire this rectangle. So, area of this rectangle, area of the triangle divided by area of the rectangle, that should be the number of points inside this shaded region divided by total number of points that we create, right? Because all the points that we create will be inside this rectangle only. And then we get the area of triangle. Just we take this and multiply this to get the area of triangle, right? So is this clear to everyone what we are trying to do over here, or anyone has any doubt or any questions? Fine, then we will just try to code this inside MATLAB. I will stop sharing my screen from here and share the desktop screen. Fine. So first we need to calculate the intersection point, right? Uh, right. So first we need to calculate this point, and this point. So the first point, let me just create a function. First point we already know, that is 0 comma 0. Second point, is 4 comma 0. We need to calculate the third point. So if I convert it into a system of linear equations, so my equation would be y minus 2x minus y is equal to 0, first equation, and my second equation would be x plus y is equal to 4, right? So yeah, y 2x minus y is equal to 0 and x plus y is equal to 4, right? So what I can do, I can convert it into a system of linear equations in the form of uh, ax is equal to b, right? So I need A matrix and B matrix. So for this case, my A matrix would be uh, so Ax is equal to B, right? Where A matrix would be mm, 2 comma 0 and 1 comma 1, right? And by B vector should be 0 comma 4, right? So I will just create these two matrices, right? So this is my A matrix, x plus y, and this is my B matrix 0 comma 4. So this is we just need to take inverse of matrix A multiplied by B to get the value of x and y. So our value of x and y would be for P4. So for P3, sorry. So for P3 would be inverse of A multiplied by B transpose, right? Uh, 0 comma 4 y is equal to x is this line. X plus y is equal to 4 is this line. 2 comma 4 0 comma 4. Uh, oh, sorry. So this should be minus 1, right? 2x minus y. Yeah. So this is around 1.33, 2.67. So it is 1 by 3, and this is 2, 3 by 2, right? Okay, so now we have all the 3 points, P1, 0, comma 0, P2, 4, comma 0, and P3, this. So now let us first create some random points, right? Uh, number of points. Let us create 1,000 points. So we need a width of our rectangle would be yeah. So width of our rectangle would be this size, right? That would, you can take anything. So that would be 4. That would be 2.667. I will just try 2.67 because this is 4 comma 0 and this is 1.33 and 2.67. Okay. Let us create random numbers. So I will one comma number of points. So this rand, it generates uniform numbers from 0 to 1, right? So I type rand, uniformly distributed random number. So the uniform distribution is from 0 to 1. So I need to scale it, like these are the number of points in the these are the coordinates in x direction, right? So I need to scale it by the width of the rectangle, right? So I will just multiply this by that width. Then the y point, number of points in the the coordinates of the points in y direction, uh, that should be scaled by the length of the rectangle, right? So I will take this to the next line. Fine. So this is like we created 1,000 number of random points for this rectangular region, right? Next, we need to like the conditions for all the points which should be inside this region, right? So all the random points are above this line. We know that because these are like from 0 to 1 and then we multiply it. So all the points are above the x-axis only. We just need to check the points that are to the left of this line, y is equal to minus x plus 4, and the points those are right to this line, y is equal to 2x, right? So all those points will be enclosed in this triangular region, and all the other points are in the rectangular. All the points are in the rectangular region. The points which are enclosed in this are the which satisfy these two conditions, these three conditions. So the conditions would be right. So for this line y is equal to 2x, the condition would be like if I take a point over here, suppose I take a point something like uh, 1 comma 2 or zero point 0.5 comma 2, right? So my x is 2 and my y is zero point 0.5. Yeah, my x is 2 and my y is zero point 0.5. So it will be like 2 multiplied by 2, that will be 4, and y is zero point 0.5. So my first condition is my y should be less than 2x. So small, y is less than 2x, right? That should be my first condition for all the points which are to the right of this y is equal to 2x line. Now all the points which are left of this y is equal to minus x plus 4 line. So if I check a point which is like over here, so if I check a point like 2 comma 0, right? So 2 comma 0 would be minus 2 plus 4. So that would be 2, right? So my y is but my y is 0 only, right? So that condition is y is greater than minus x plus 4. Any doubt in this? How we get these conditions? Y is less than 2x and y is greater than minus x plus 4, right? So if the point is to the right of a line, we just take that it's less than that, and if it's uh, I think I wrote it 0 0.5, 2 comma 0 0.5, yeah, and this is also it should also be less than that because y is equal to 0, right? My x is 2 and y is 0, so still this is like plus 2 only, and my y is 0. Okay. Mm-hmm. That is less than 2x. Right. So we need to check these, and the other condition is simply y is greater than 0. We'll check if these conditions are true or not. Then I just need to check using if else conditions. I just need to check if the points that we are making, if all the points can satisfy these three conditions or not to be inside the triangle. Right? You can simply run a loop. Even we don't need a loop, but for the sake of simplicity, let us just run a loop. Let us set the first condition. Uh, y I should be less than 2 multiplied by x comma I. Condition 2 would be n, and my condition 3 is so these 3 points, like if I take suppose I consider some point x is equal to 2 multiplied by 0.5, right? And if I run these three conditions, so is equal to 1, right? So since that point 0 comma 2 comma 0.5 is inside this region, so all these three conditions turn out to be 1, right? You can see it over here. So condition 3 is 1, condition 2 is also 1, condition 1 is also 1. So all the three conditions are satisfied. If I consider some point which is outside this region, like if I take x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 1 point, what is the point p3, so 2.667, right? So if I take 2.67, now if I just run these three conditions, condition 3 is satisfied because this line is above this, y is greater than 0. Condition 2 is also satisfied because y is equal to minus x plus 4, this line. So this point is to the left side of this line only. But condition 1 is not being satisfied because the point is not to the right, not to the left of this line, it's to the right of this line. Okay, so we get a 0 over here. So now if all these three conditions are satisfied, like we get a logical one for all these three conditions, then that means our point is inside this region. Okay, so I will just use an if condition to check that. If condition 1 multiplied by condition 2 multiplied by condition 3. So if all the three conditions are true or 1, then this should come out to be true. We need not add any other condition. So because we are multiplying logical one, logical, so if I write this statement over here, if I write this statement over here, I think I will need condition. So I am getting a 0. This is a logical 0. You see, this is a normal 0, right? But for other point where we had all the three conditions satisfied at this point, right? All the three conditions were 1, right? So now if I run the same line of code, I will get a 1. Okay. So if all the three conditions are satisfied, then this will be 1 and I will enter the if statement. So I will just uh, 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 let us make a variable count to 0, and this variable is to count the number of true conditions. Fine. So I will just count plus. We don't need an else condition. The loop ends. For loop also ends. So this count will give us the number of points which are inside the this shaded region, and we have total 1,000 number of points. So the number of points outside the region, the total number of points are 1,000. We just need to get the ratio of this, and we need to calculate the area of rectangle also, right? So area of rectangle is simple, right? What's this? Vertical rows. Where's this one? Random one number of points into rectangular way. This is just a scalar value. It should not have a problem. No, we will just get it directly, right? So yeah, closed. Area of rectangle multiplied by count divided by number of points. Right? Now we just need to check why this is. And, points. Fine. So if we run this, right? So this is our enclosed area, and total area is area of rectangle. So that this is the area of rectangle. If we let me just what is that formula? Let me just check. So if we calculate the area using this, 0.5 multiplied by x1, so p11 multiplied by p22 minus p3 plus x2, so that would be p21 multiplied by p32 minus p11 plus p33 multiplied by p12 minus p2. Right. Did we clear something? Let us create the pointer. Let us just copy this and move this inside. I missed a P3. So 0.5 P1 uh, x coordinate multiplied by P2 y coordinate minus P3 y coordinate, and we close this bracket, plus P2 x coordinate, P3 y coordinate, P1 x coordinate and y coordinate, and we close this bracket. Then P3 x coordinate, P1 y coordinate, P2 y coordinate. We close this bracket. And fine. So now that run fine. So we get area original as, so this is our original area, and using the Monte Carlo method we get area enclosed as, so 5.1584, right? This is close to the original area. If I run it for large number of points, then this will get closer to the original area. 10,000 points. Let us output both of these things. Yeah. So it gets, this is the enclosed area. This is the original area. So it's like it gets closer and closer to the original area, right? If I run it for 10,000 points, so it gets more and more closer to the original area, right? I think, any doubt in this part, what we just did, why we did it? Any kind of doubt? Anyone? Fine. So similarly, we can use like any sort of curve to get to calculate this area using this Monte Carlo methods. Suppose I had a like I told you earlier, if I had a parabola, then I just need to change these conditions. I just need to if I had a parabola over here, then I need to get the intersection point. Suppose let me go there. I had some sort of parabola over here, right? And then some line, and I need to calculate this region, right? So I need to calculate the point of intersection, and I just simply need a rectangle between those. I need to draw a rectangle between those 2 points, right? And then I can just use the same code. I need to change these conditions, and I can get the area enclosed by the by those two curves. Okay, fine. So I had one more question. This is related to a palindromic numbers. But I think we are out of time. It's already close to it. Uh, I will start with this problem in the next session. Then, if you guys have any doubt related to any problem or anything related to course, whatever has been taught till now, then you can ask. I will share these scripts with you guys on the Google Drive, and then same link that I shared last time, and you can access it from there. So, no doubt, anyone? Fine. and then we will end this session. Uh, we will okay. I will. Okay, I can. I think I can do this in 10 minutes. I already had. Okay, until then, let us just write a simple function to. You guys know what a palindrome is. So a palindrome is a number or a not necessarily a number or a character or a word that is same either when read from the first from the beginning or from the end. So it reads same in both ways. Suppose we want to check if a number is a palindrome using MATLAB, simple MATLAB. Then the simplest way to do is suppose I write 5 6 6 7. I need to reverse this number and subtract it by itself to get to see uh, my number was be 4 5 6 7, right? I need to create a number that is 7654. So I will just simply convert this number to a string. So num1 str is equal to num this is num str num2 str num1. This will convert it into a string. Then I will reverse this string. So there is a command called flip str. I think it's flip str only. So if I do flip str num2 str, there's some command name flip str. Flip str. Reverse str, something like that is there. Let me just check. Yeah, I just simply reverse. So I try reverse num str. So I get a 7654, right? So my original num str was 4567, and I get a reverse str as 7654. Then I can simply convert this number to a character convert this in character array to a number, right? So reverse num, that should be str to num. Sorry, it's stored in answer. Yeah, so this is my reverse number. So if I just now just subtract these two, then my subtraction should come to 0 for it to be a palindrome, right? Mm, so num1 minus rev num. So this is not a 0. That means this number is not a palindrome. So how do we code this? So if we write a function, uh, I will just take a number as input. We'll convert this number to a character. To str num. I will reverse this. So reverse character. That would be my reverse num cat, and then I will just do get num str to num that cat. Right? Uh, Now I just need to have a if condition. So if num minus ref num is equal to 0, that means is palindrome. That means is palindrome is true. So I will just output either I can output true, semicolon, else is palindrome is false. Right? I'll save this. Now I can just simply type any number. So palindrome 1 2 1. Yeah. So this is a palindrome. So I'm getting a 2 1 to 4. I'm getting a false. This is not a palindrome. Nearly 9009. So this is a palindrome. I'm getting true. Right. So for to check this, we just simply need to run a loop. In a brute force method, we simply need to run a loop. So like the question asks us, find the largest palindrome made from a product of numbers less than or equal to the input number. Right? Suppose what the question asks us, if I input 91 or if I input like 99, then it should find me a largest palindrome that is a multiple of two numbers less than 99 or equal to 19, less or equal to 99, right? So I just simply need to run a for loop that runs from 99, that runs from 1 to 99, and then another for loop inside that runs from the ith value of the first loop to the to start with and ends at 99. And I just simply need to check the if the multiplication of those two numbers is a palindrome or not. Right? So I will code this part in the initial 5 minutes. We will code this part and then we will see some problems. Fine. So anyone has any doubt in this palindrome part? Otherwise we can end this. No. Fine, then we will end this meeting now and we will meet same time next week. Okay. So thank you all.